Here.
Oberdorf.
Here.
Heckel.
Here.
Tinney.
Here.
Here. Eben.
Here.
Reynolds.
Move to excuse Miss Reynolds. Second.
All those in favor of excusing Ms. Reynolds, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Is there a motion to approve the minutes for the April 22nd, 2024 regular council meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of approving the minutes of April the 22nd, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda for the May 13th, 2024 regular council meeting?
So moved. Second.
Yep.
All those in favor of approving the agenda for May the 13th, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
We have two presentations tonight, one from the Wood County Park District and the second for the Rossford CBB. Would the Park District please come forward?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Council. My name is Chris Smalley. I'm the Director of the Wood County Park District, and I'm here tonight to present you with your check for the local park improvement grant in the amount of $1,840 for playground servicing. I just want to say thank you so much for participating in this program. It means a lot to me, and I really do appreciate continued use by cities such as yourselves and various municipalities across Wood County. I also brought with me a copy of the plaque that goes on for the same location as part of the grant. We switched to a smaller, easier to install sign last year. It's been working pretty well, so hopefully you find it easy to use. And then finally, I brought with me a copy of the 2025 grant application, hoping you'll participate again. We're going to do it a little differently this year. In the past, we've always required a meeting portion of it. To be honest, since COVID, the meeting portion has been spotty attendance, and quite frankly, most of the items that come up are things that we can address either through a Zoom or through an email. So I don't think we need the in-person meeting anymore. So I'll share that with you as well.
Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much we appreciate everything you do. Fantastic organization, and I need to get with you the next couple weeks.
Sounds good.
Thanks for coming
I
out
appreciate
tonight.
it. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Thank
You
you.
too. Beth Jensen? I didn't see you, Beth.
Oh, a little short, hiding back there. Good evening, everybody, council members, mayor.
Beth?
Just wanted to come in and bring in to you, I've got bags for each of you. I'm just going to briefly talk about a few of the things that are in the bag. One is our 2023 year in review and 24 preview, and I'll just hit a couple highlights for you, and then you have the report to read on your own. But 2023, as far as hotel motel tax goes, we had growth of about 4% over 2022, so continuing to grow. Travel is still strong throughout Ohio. We do, so if you're not familiar with the details of the tax, there is 3% tax. The second 3% tax, half of that tax goes to the CVB to promote tourism in Rossford. And so we get a quarter of the full tax. And some of the tax, which also affects, of course, the 3/4 that the count that the city gets, is due to, we have overnight stays, so particularly in some of our suite hotels, if they stay over 30 days, and we do have a lot of business travelers staying over 30 days, and we don't collect the tax on those stays over 30 days. So that does affect, and we've had a lot of growth, obviously out in the crossroads and in the area, so a lot of business travelers that are staying for longer periods, which is good. Couple of the bigger things that we did last year, of course, everybody knows the 125th anniversary. We had an abbreviated summary in here. We gave you guys a full report last year after that was over. So abbreviated summary of that. That took up a lot of time and effort for last year. But we also had a couple new things. One of those, we've done Stroll the Street since 2019. And so last year, in looking at Clark Drive and the hotels, the 5 hotels there, which are the main hotels at the Turnpike and I-75, There aren't any restaurants within, a couple miles of the hotels. We had the Old Indian Motorcycle Building sitting there, so I worked with the owners to be able to utilize their parking lot. And we brought in, on Wednesday evenings, we had Celebrate on Clark throughout the summer and even through September last year, and brought in live music, food trucks, and games for people to play, so that they would have at least one night, especially people who were there for long-term stays, had at least one night that they didn't have to, go off the property. They could relax and enjoy. We had a lot of people that took advantage of that, and it gave me a wonderful opportunity to talk to people, find out where they were coming from, find out how they booked their rooms, because I was really surprised myself. When I plan on traveling somewhere, I book a room, at least a couple weeks in advance usually, but a lot of people, I was surprised at how many people are booking as they're traveling and, telling me, oh, I was up, 2 hours from Toledo and thought, well, Toledo's probably a good place to, stop for the night, and so they booked a room on Clark Drive. The other thing that we did was expand our social media campaign. We're now doing paid streaming TV, paid social media, and search engine marketing, and targeting the markets from Chicago to Cleveland and Detroit to Cincinnati, because that's our travel zone. We've been very successful in that, in reaching a lot of people, and I'm just going to play just a couple real clips for you. We had a commercial for our Celebrate on Clark that we played on
Please
Street
come
TV.
join our collaboration as we celebrate on Clark. Everybody's got an open invitation. Just pull up your car and park at the crossroads of our nation. It's an entertaining friends and family situation. Yes, we've got 5 hotels with fine accommodations. You might even win a free night to sleep tight when you celebrate on Clark. HotelsOnClark.com.
And so we had a song made just for our ad, and we had over 111,000 impressions on streaming TV with a just under 90% completion rate, which meant people watched it all the way through, didn't click away from it while they were watching it. So we feel that was a good, our company told us that was a good one. Now this year, we're doing something different. We're also adding more to our social media, and we have a spokes dog. Bentley, the bulldog, is our spokes dog, and so we're planning on 12 ads for the year, and we've got 4 done already, which you can play a couple of those for everyone.
Finally, freedom. We're going to get ourselves a camper. Come on, let's go. This is perfect for me. What about you guys? Now we're talking. We could bring Maverick, Rex, Champ, and Lassie too. Wow, Camping World in Rossford really does have something for everyone. Staybridge Suites, does this mean I get my own room? A kitchen in a hotel room? See what's in the fridge. First dibs. Wow, this is heavenly. Come on, you guys. You know I can swim. Well done, Staybridge. Hey, where's my plate?
And just play Mo's.
Hey, is that Bentley? Is he in the house?
I love Moe's. Everyone knows my name. They know how I like my Moe's balls. Hey, can't we get all 15 kinds? I guess you guys will have to take those flaming Moe burgers to another table. It pays to be a regular. Moe's Place is the place for authentic Rossford.
So I got a good idea of what they are. We have one more. We actually just shot 2 more, another hotel and Toca Toledo Sports, which used to be Total Sports. So that'll be coming soon. And then we're doing Stroll the Street on the first night, hopefully, and Danny's as soon as everything's ready and opened up. So we're excited about that, and we just rolled those out last month on our paid social media. We've been doing them locally, getting a lot of interest there and adding people to our Facebook followers. But we rolled them out on paid social media, and the response has been really good. And interestingly enough, which the company said they've never seen this before, it's 69% men that are watching the videos, which they said nobody gets those ratios of men. So I guess it's a hit with the guys. Just the rest of the report you guys can look at your leisure. Hope everybody got this in the mail today. So we're having this. We also have discovered that a lot of people in Rossford don't know that the Clark Drive hotels are our hotels. They think they're Perrysburg hotels. And so we wanted to get people out there and create an event. Each hotel is giving away a one-night stay. We're going to have food trucks, music, kind of a little mini celebrate on Clark. And you can take tours through each of the hotels. So come on out and check out the hotels. Stroll the Street starts next week on Tuesday. Runs every Tuesday through August 13th, except for 4th of July week. A couple new things there. We have an Eat Fresh program. We're partnering with WIC and the Senior Farmers Market Farm Market program, trying to address food insecurity. So they will take that. There'll be a recipe every week that's created. We have recipe index holders for those that the first 300 people will get. And you can sample the recipe from Dave's Traveling Chef, buy your food, or use your coupons at the Church Farm Market. And so that's going to be going on. We have our new visitor guide in the package for you. And we gave out almost 1,115 visitor bags to tour bus groups coming through last year. And everybody got, I put this is what the tour directors get. They get a box with all kinds of things about Rossford, tour itineraries and everything, and then a notepad. So you got one of those. Does anybody have any questions? I don't want took up way too much of your time already, probably.
All right, thank you so much, Beth.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Beth.
Yep.
Okay, committee reports. Public Health and Safety.
Public Health and Safety Committee meeting Monday, April 15th, 2024. Public Health and Safety Committee met on Monday, April 15th at 5 p.m. In attendance were Chiefs Kitzler and Druid, committee members Toth, Oberdorf, Heben, as well as City Administrator Murray. Chief Kitzler gave an update on the drone ordered for the department, which will be delivered end of May, and currently has 5 officers working on training. Marina guards getting trained for first aid and working on getting estimates for 2 cruisers damaged in a pursuit. Also, there will be an Evola sign comparable to one in Perrysburg for speed on Jennings Road, and we talked about speed tables built in with the Jennings Road project. Chief Drouard gave the monthly update for the fire department. Meeting adjourned at 5:15.
Okay, any comments or questions on the safety report? Report of the mayor and administrator. Allison, you can go first.
Okay, quickly, I wanted to thank Tyler Kolb and the Public Works crew for another successful brush pickup last month. I think they did a great job and probably picked up record numbers of brush, so thank you again for a great job. And then I am ceding the rest of my time for the report to the gentleman from Quick Trip, and they have a quick presentation that they would like to give.
Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Rob Sweet. I'm with McBride-Dale Clarion, address 5721 Dragon Way, Suite 300, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45227. Here with Ali Bucharez. He is our Quick Trip Real Estate Project Manager. And we're here tonight to show you a brief presentation on Quick Trip, what we've done, and give you some details on the new site that we're looking to build over off of Glenwood Avenue. So before we get started, Ali, why don't you give us a little bit of a run through of what Quick Trip is, where you guys been, and how you guys do it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like Rob said, my name is Ali Bucharez. I'm a real estate project manager. We office out of Naperville, Illinois, 50 South Main Street, Suite 200, Naperville, Illinois, 60540. Just to give you a little brief history about Quick Trip. Quick Trip was founded in 1958 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, still operating by the founding families. I've been with Quick Trip for a little over 10 years now. Started as a college kid and took advantage of the tuition reimbursement and ended up making a career out of it. Quick Trip's slogan is more than a gas station, and we really truly believe that. We offer over 25,000 jobs in our company-wide, and you can actually make a career out of it. I graduated my accounting degree, did accounting for them for about 3 years, and then moved into the real estate environment, and recently moved from Tulsa, Oklahoma to the Chicago area, most recently because we're really expanding into the northeast area. We have one site in Ohio that we are about to open up in Dayton, and then we're looking a lot around this area. Rossford is probably going to be the first one that's going to be opened up and going into construction. And then, you go ahead to the next slide. QuickTrip is really a socially responsible company. We work with a lot of different charities, but one of the main ones we work with is United Way, Folds of Honor, and Safe Place. If you're not familiar with Safe Place is for endangered teens between the ages of 13 to 17. You can go into any QuickTrip nationwide, and we are trained on how to handle those situations. We call Safe Place. We make sure that child, whatever danger they're in, they go with the Safe Place personnel representative, and they'll get taken care of from there. QuickTrip is also featured on 100 Best Companies to Work For year after year. We create on average 20 jobs per store. For a store of this size, we're looking at 25 to 28 jobs, and that's 6 full-time jobs and then a lot of part-time jobs. We also have in-house facility support, so we do not use any outside facility support. So all of QuickTrip equipment gets fixed by QuickTrip employees. And we usually hire in the area that we're in. We also work with multiple different charities within the cities that we do operate in. And then next is security. Security is obviously our number one. You know, we want to make sure our customers are safe, but most importantly, our employees. I worked in the stores. I worked overnights in the stores. I was an assistant manager, and I even worked as a clerk. Never once felt unsafe. I have a wife at home with 3 kids, so we always have a belt clip on our waistband. If for any emergency situations, we click those buttons. It goes into our corporate office in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It goes up on a big screen as you see there, and they'll assess the situation, and based on what they see, they'll send the appropriate personnel there. And on the next screen, you'll see the view of our security. Once you step an inch into our property line, you will be on surveillance. We work really well with local enforcements all over the nation, from Phoenix all the way to the Carolinas. We have stores all the way through that area. And, you know, security is our number one aspect of our stores, and we want to make sure everybody feels safe, including our customers. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to Rob.
Thanks, Ali. So with the proposed development, we are looking to rezone some property at the northeast corner of Glenwood Road and 3rd Street. Cycle on through. I'll keep this short. As you can see, we've got properties are a combination of P1 and R1C zoning, and we're looking to request R1 properties to P1 to PI. Next slide, please. The development itself consists of about a 7,300 square foot convenience store, kind of located there off to the center of the plan. I would say this plan is kind of goofy the way it is, but it's kind of offset from the center of the site. You've got the automobile canopy right underneath it, and we've got a diesel fueling canopy off to the north side of the building. There is a scale on site. We are providing about 68 parking spaces, both combined for automobile and oversize. We are providing 3 access driveways, 2 along Glenwood, 1 along 3rd Street, the 2 closest to the intersection. So the closest one on Glenwood and the closest one on 3rd Street will be right in, right out only. And we have taken into consideration the roundabout project and designed our site to fit within those parameters. Some other improvements that we're doing is we are doing the sidewalk along both street frontages, and I think we're working with the city on how the sidewalk will be laid out and where it's actually going. We're also asking for low-profile signage, which meets code, 6-foot tall signs, about 31, 32 square feet in area. The next slide is our landscape plan that's up there now. So on the north side is where we have abut the adjacent residential properties, and we are providing the 40 plus minus foot berm, or 40 buffer area, 40-foot buffer area along that side with a 3-foot tall berm, 3-to-1 slope, planted with about 164 shrubs and 5 trees, plus whatever else we could save while we're out there. The total landscape area that we're providing is about 380 shrubs and about 60 trees on site. So we are looking to make quite a significant improvement of the landscaping and other facilities out there. For our building elevations, it is a brick-style building. We do utilize some soldier cores throughout the elevations to provide some visual interest, create a base, middle, and top design, if you will. I'm not an architect. I don't claim to be one on TV. Building itself is 20 feet tall. We do have a flat roof with parapet to screen the mechanical equipment. Do provide glazing and all that fun stuff. Next slide. Standard canopy elevations, metal canopies, 25 feet tall for the diesel and about 22 feet tall for the automobile. And now the important stuff. So the rezoning request, you know, looking at the intent of the PI district, we feel that this applies to premier development properties, premier properties in the city. We feel that this is one of them, given its location, what's the surrounding zoning, the surrounding uses out there, as well as the future potential development of further industrialized uses down Glenwood. This site is near an interchange. This style of business is an interchange style business. Not really a lot of fueling places for these larger vehicles to fuel within the along I-75. There's some on 475. There's some across the turnpike. There's some as you start to get into or coming into or going out of Ohio, depending on which way you're going. But there's not really much in this area, and this would primarily be probably the biggest one along I-75 at this point in time. So, you know, we do feel that given the industry around us and the warehousing and some of the other items, this is a good use here. Let's see, we feel that this is also a catalyst for growth and future improvements. You know, with the roundabout, you're starting to see some of these properties start to look at different designs and different types of businesses. And then hopefully this will bring other new business into the area, right? And that's kind of what we're hoping for. Somebody sees the investment being made. We know True North is looking at possibly some improvements to their property, and then the folks on the corner, so on and so forth. At the 5/8 Planning Commission meeting, Planning Commission recommended unanimous approval for the rezoning. They also recommended approval for the conditional use permit, special land use permit, whatever we want to call that, and the preliminary site plan. We've also agreed to work with the fire department on a FTC connection and willing to work with the city on any other items we may need to do. With that being said, we respectfully request approval of our project and happy to answer questions as needed. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Caroline?
What's your time frame for construction?
Depending on how fast we get through the permitting process, and how fast we can get contractors and things like that, probably looking to start this April of next year, and then kind of work through. There's a possibility we may be able to speed that up a little bit, but, you know, construction in the wintertime up here is not, it doesn't really tend itself too well. So would like to get started earlier, maybe get the site worked out, get the building constructed, work under roof over the winter, and then open up the site after that. But obviously, it all depends on permitting and other things like that.
And you're asking for rezoning of 2 of the 3 properties?
Correct.
2 of the 3 residential properties?
Correct.
What happens with the 3rd one?
There's only 2 properties out there. So there's 2 owned. I think one gentleman owns 2 properties out there, or maybe 3 parcels, making up 2 properties. And then the property to the south is already planned industrial.
Okay, so what about the one next to the apartments?
We are not buying that one.
You're not buying that?
We are not buying
And
that
that's going to stay, you want that to stay residential next
It's
to
our
this?
understanding. We don't have a contract on it. We don't have the authority to change the zoning of something like that.
So you want to have this next to a residential house?
Correct. And we put the safeguards in place, we put the buffer areas in place, and they also have existing fences that they plan to keep.
Okay.
Anyone else? Thank you. Go ahead, Zach.
The 2 residential properties that are highlighted.
Yes.
They are amenable to this change? You already under
They have
contract
one
with them?
owner.
Okay.
They have one owner, and he's selling them to to Quick Trip. Go ahead.
So you're not buying the third property?
Correct. So the property in between the apartment complex and that little sliver up there, that will stay as it is.
Okay.
Anyone else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Allison, do you have anything this evening?
I do not, thank you.
Okay, at this time, I would ask council if they would please approve my nominations for the Special Safety Committee. Former Fire Chief Josh Druard would represent as one of the citizens. Andrew Vasic is our current acting chief. Jessica Vaughn, who is a Rossford resident and Rossford firewoman, and Mike Lord, who is a Rossford resident and a Rossford fireman.
Move approval of the new committee members?
Second.
All, individual. Vote on the motion to approve the mayor's nominations to the fire committee. Eckel?
Aye.
Tinney?
Aye.
Owen?
Aye.
Heben?
Aye.
Toth?
Aye.
Oberdorf.
Okay, Mr. Wattrell, any
I
correspondence?
have one piece of correspondence, Mayor. It is from the Perrysburg Township Administrator addressed to yourself and also the Mayor of Perrysburg. Gentlemen, on behalf of Perrysburg Township, I would like to thank and commend your police departments and those officers involved in the police pursuit that occurred on Monday, April 8th, 2024. This pursuit involved all three of our jurisdictions, and those officers involved demonstrated extreme professionalism in bringing an end to the pursuit while also safeguarding our citizens that were traveling on our public roadways. Cooperation between our emergency services personnel has always been a hallmark of our greater community. Please extend our appreciation to those officers involved, as well as to your police chiefs. Signed by John Eckel, Perrysburg Township Administrator.
Great job, Todd. Introduction of ordinances. Is there a motion to read ordinance 2024-33 by title only?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor of reading by title only, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 2024-33 is an ordinance repealing Rossford Municipal Code Section 925.04, Rules and Regulation of the Rossford Marina, and enacting a new Section 925.04 with revised marina rules and declaring an emergency. This is the second reading.
Mr. Toth?
I would like to hold off on a third reading while we have another Parks, Facilities, and Marina Committee meeting, so people that inhabit the marina may come to that meeting and have any questions they have answered.
Okay, second reading. Is there a motion to read ordinance 2024-35 by title only?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor of reading by title only, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 2024-35 is an ordinance approving an agreement for integrated countywide Central Square Enterprise Services between Wood County, Ohio, and the city of Rossford, and declaring an emergency. This is the first reading.
Allison?
This is the agreement for the CAD system that's going to go countywide. So I know that both chiefs have indicated that they would like to participate in this.
Chris?
I'll move to suspend with the second and third reading. Second.
Does anyone in the audience have a problem with us passing this evening, or any questions in regards to it? No.
All those in favor of suspending with the second and third reading, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Move for adoption.
Second?
Vote on the motion to adopt. Owen?
Aye.
Tinney?
Aye.
Eckel?
Aye.
Oberdorf?
Aye.
Toth?
Aye.
Heben?
Aye.
Is there a motion to read ordinance 2024-36 by title only?
So
So
moved.
moved. Second?
All those in favor of reading by title only, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 2024-36 is an ordinance authorizing the administration of the city of Rossford to execute temporary easements to the Ohio Department of Transportation and declaring an emergency. This is a first reading.
Allison?
Many times when someone is doing a project in our city, they need an easement in order to be on our property, in order to complete it. Kevin, is there anything I'm missing with any of that?
No, this just deals with the Route 65 project, the bridge, and ODOT has employed West Geary to set up the real estate, and they've located 2 parcels of real estate that are in the city of Rossford's name that they need as temporary easements for the construction, and we're getting paid $300 from ODOT for the use of the easement. So it's just for the construction period.
Chris?
Motion to suspend with the second and third reading.
Does anyone in the audience have a problem with us passing this evening, or any questions in regards to it? No.
All those in favor of suspending with the second and third reading, Heben.
Aye.
Oh, wait. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Move to declare ordinance 2024-36 an emergency.
Second.
All those in favor of declaring an emergency, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Move adoption.
Second.
Vote on the motion to adopt ordinance 2024-36. Heben.
Aye.
Owen.
Aye.
Tinney.
Aye.
Eckel.
Aye.
Oberdorf.
Aye.
Toth.
Aye.
Is there a motion to read ordinance 2024-37 by title only?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of reading by title only, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 2024-37 is an ordinance authorizing an amendment to the agreement with Bergman, now Colliers, for the purpose of engineering services for the design of the Buck Road, Glenwood Road roundabout, ODOT PID 117851, and declaring an emergency.
Allison?
This is the Glenwood Buck Roundabout, and back in 2022, we found out that ODOT was going to fund this for the city, them and TMCOG, and we needed to have design work done by, at the time, it was Bergman, and now they've since been bought out by Colliers, so that's why it says Bergman/Colliers, and they have identified that we need to do additional environmental and public involvement work for this project, so there is an additional cost, and that's what this would be, to pay for the additional cost in the design.
Go ahead.
Did they say what that additional work is?
Yeah, we'll have to have public hearings, and we will have to open it up to the public in order to have discussions on exactly how it'll affect that intersection and all of the stakeholders in that intersection.
And what about the environmental portion?
It'll just expand a little bit further the footprint.
So is that like a air quality environmental, or is that just like a land location environment?
It's just the land location environmental.
Anyone else?
I'll move to suspend with the second, third readings.
Second.
Does anyone in the audience have a problem with us passing this evening, or any questions in regards to it? No.
All those in favor of suspending with the second and third reading, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Move to declare an emergency.
Second.
All those in favor of declaring an emergency, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Move adoption.
Second.
Vote on the motion to adopt ordinance 2024-37. Eckel?
Aye.
Tinney?
Aye.
Owen?
Aye.
Heben?
Aye.
Toth?
Aye.
Oberdorf?
Is there a motion to read ordinance 2024-38 by title only?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of reading by title only, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 2024-38 is an ordinance authorizing the amendment of the zoning map of the city of Rossford and adopting a new zoning map of the city of Rossford. This is a first reading.
Mayor, I'd like to have this as a first reading so I can investigate the leaving of residential property in between this big complex and the apartments.
Okay. Is there a motion to read ordinance 2024-39 by title only?
So moved.
All those in favor of reading by title only, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 2024-39 is an ordinance amending supplemental number 8, the annual appropriation measure for the year beginning January 1, 2024, ending December 31, 2024, passed by ordinance 2023-73. This is the first reading.
Allison?
I'm going to put it over to Chris.
Thank you. So there are a handful of things that we are adding to the budget tonight. The first item is funds to repair engines 29 and 30 for the fire department. We recently had those apparatus serviced, and they came back with several repairs that they're encouraging us to make. The second item is the nuisance abatement demo of 705 Glenwood Road. Those funds would go to the raising of that property. The third and fourth items are in relation to the Skinnell TIF agreement that council approved late last year. Essentially, these are real estate property taxes that the county forwarded to us. I'm requesting that these are added to the budget so we can remit the funding to both the schools and the developers per that agreement. And the accounting fees are just fees that are typically levied by the county for all real estate taxes. And the last item is funding for concrete and supplies for catch basin repairs. Happy to answer any questions.
Move to suspend the second and third.
Second.
You have a question, Zach?
I did.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Zach.
The nuisance abatement for 705 Glenwood, what's the reasoning behind that?
The city has gone through the process of abating the nuisance. We've been given all the orders, so since it's over the limit, our spending limit, we need council's approval, and then we put it on the tax duplicate. You'll see it come in October. It'll be put on the tax duplicate for that property.
Is it not being taken care of? Or?
Yeah, so if you see
I guess I
705.
haven't driven by it in a while, so I just,
Yeah, it's by the, right over the railroad tracks, right?
yeah.
Yes, it's heading south. It's on the left-hand side. There's some abandoned vehicles in there and a large sailboat, and the house and yard is in disrepair.
Okay.
I had a motion.
Yeah, I just need a second.
Second.
Does anyone in the audience have a problem with us passing this evening, or any questions in regards to it? No.
All those in favor of suspending with the second and third reading, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Move adoption.
Second.
Vote on the motion to adopt ordinance 2024-39. Heben.
Aye.
Owen.
Aye.
Tinney.
Aye.
Eckel.
Aye.
Oberdorf. Toth.
Aye.
Mr. Watro, are there any resolutions this evening?
No.
Okay, council remarks. Councilman Toth.
I have nothing.
Mr. Oberdorf.
I'd just like to recognize Councilwoman Tinney for the very nice article I saw in the paper where Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur invited her to meet with the leader of Japan. I thought it was a very nice article, and congratulate you.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was a one-in-a-lifetime experience. I'm very grateful to Representative Kaptur for the opportunity. So, yeah, thank you very much. Very cool.
Councilwoman Eckel.
Our next council meeting is on Memorial Day, so I would like to change the schedule to have it the following day, on that Tuesday. I think it's the 28th.
Charter. That it's automatic.
Yeah, it's
When
switched.
council falls on a national holiday, I think it's automatic that it's the next day.
You give me a few minutes, I can pop up when I find it.
Yeah, we can come back.
Okay. We had our first meeting of the Special Safety Committee for the Fire Department. It went very well. Our next meeting is this coming Wednesday, the 15th, at 6 o'clock at the Annex. And Mrs. Tinney has minutes together that she will give to Mr. Wattrell to post on the website.
Okay.
That's all. Thank you.
Councilwoman Tinney.
I want to thank everybody who came to our fire committee meeting, to the members who showed up. I felt it was a really positive, informational meeting for me, so I just appreciate it, and I hope to see everybody May 15th for that. And that's all I have.
Okay, Councilman Owen.
I was going to recognize Ms. Tinney as well. I thought that was very impressive.
Thank you.
And a good showing for our city, so.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I
Councilman
just want to
Heben.
send my condolences out to the Bill Bockelman family. Bill, if anybody in here knows Bill, I'm sure that Caroline and Larry know him well. He passed away recently, and he was a great guy. He used to own Box Place here in Rossford. Always had great stories. Wasn't he delivering mail towards the end there? Wasn't he driving real far? And just always fun to eat breakfast with. And his daughter Holly is a dear friend of mine, and wanted to send my love and thoughts to her and that family.
Thank you. He definitely will be sadly missed. Okay, audience remark.
Mayor?
Yeah.
Mr. Wottrell, as always, is correct. It says, when the Monday for the regular meeting is a holiday, the meeting shall be held the following Tuesday. So it's every Tuesday.
We knew that.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's all good. Audience remarks. Going once, twice. Motion to
Wait,
adjourn.
can I make one additional
Yeah.
comment? I don't usually like to comment on stuff that happens on Facebook, but there was a recent situation where someone reached out to our city administrator, and he did not get an immediate reply, and so he blasted it on Facebook. I just want to remind the public that the city employees are employees, and they have lives too, and to expect an answer that's not during business hours, especially something that's sent on a Friday or on a weekend, is completely, I don't know, it's rude, it's disrespectful, and then to go on Facebook and blast said person for not answering quick enough is just absolutely ridiculous. So I want people to remember that all our employees work hard, and they're human, and they deserve our respect, whether or not you agree with them or not, but you need to allow some grace, the fact that they have a life over the weekend too, and they are not there at your beck and call.
And considering it's a project that's scheduled for 2027.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I read it, and none of it was accurate.
No, none of it, and none of it needed an immediate response.
No. I agree 100%.
Yeah, I think if it's something that you wouldn't call 911 about, you shouldn't expect a response until the next business day.
Yeah, it was 2 o'clock Friday.
Yeah.
The question was asked, and then was early afternoon today.
Yes, Mayor.
It's obscene.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous.
Well said, Mr.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Move to adjourn.
Second. Good job.
All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye.